Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your teen RuneScope. My name is Amanda. I do have Aphrodite statue with us in our day, so I want to wish you all a very happy day. Also do want to mention, as always, to also watch the video for your rising sign as well if you know it. That can give you some more information about some other themes or areas of life that you'd be dealing with issues and and the advice that goes along with that. I also did record a routine overview for all Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. So if you want to take a look at what will be coming up for the whole year of teen, check that out. You can find that by going to the main page, main channel page. Just click the name RuneScopes under this video, and that'll take you there. You can also, of course, if you want something specific, the only way to really get that for you specifically, a reading, is to schedule a reading. I do mine on Skype. They are $5 for a half-hour session. Just drop me a line at the email address below this video if you want to set something up. But let's jump into February, Sagittarius, and see what your focus is going to be on and the advice of how to deal with issues you be encountering the second month of teen. For a lot of you, I still see stuff around your family, some frustration there. But we're dealing with, I think we saw this around the holiday time too, just dealing with some frustration there and delays. You'd be putting off dealing with this, Sagittarius. If this is something that reared its head around the holidays, you just be putting off dealing with your family. And that's fine. You know, you need time for yourself. We all do. And this be necessary for you right now. But if you've been stubborn in some way, Sagittarius, maybe the month where you need to consider meeting someone halfway, or you know, saying I'm sorry if there was a blow up, or you know, I think that's what's going to be on your mind. How can I turn this situation around? How can I make this better? You may not feel very positive about it. You may not feel like approaching this situation. But the truth is, I think you're going to feel better once you do and kind of get this off you. Because right now it's just kind of hanging around. Just a negative feeling around family. So I think it's best that you do what you can there, Sagittarius, to work that out. We never know how long somebody's going to be in our life. And you don't want, you know, God forbid, something bad to happen to someone. If this is like your father or your mother or somebody that you're dealing with issues with. You know, heaven forbid something happen and you never get the opportunity to rectify that situation. So just keep that in mind in February, Sagittarius. Financing also be on your mind in February, Sagittarius. And that could be why you're thinking about this, because maybe you need to go to your family for help financially, or to ask for a loan, or ask for a place to stay, or you know, and to kind of approach them. You feel like maybe you need to talk about this other issue that happened before, so that'd be why this is coming up. And I do feel like for you, Sagittarius, if you know, maybe you don't deal with the previous situation, they're not going to be too apt to loan you or the money or help you out. So it's kind of necessary that maybe you face this in worrying. For some of you, some still be coming, there may be more information still coming out about this situation. And this does not even involve you, Sagittarius. This may be somebody else in your family, and it just kind of caused divisions among the family and people to take sides. And that be what's going on. And there may still be more coming out about this. There may be news about your financial situation. You have an unexpected expense in February, Sagittarius. And I'm sorry to tell you, it is something that will come along unexpectedly, and it seems like it's caused by other people. It's not something that you do. It's not something broken. It's more like, you know, maybe your partner loaned some money to someone and you didn't know about it. Maybe it was a significant amount of money, and maybe you had plans for that money or something like that. So, I mean, these are other ways. This is other ways this can work out. But yeah, money going out that you didn't know about, and that caused some problems in February, Sagittarius. The help that you're going to receive in February, Sagittarius, is, you know, in this partnership, you're something, for those of you who are coupled, there's a creative spark to this. It's inspiring you creatively to do something. So if you're an artist, maybe this relationship has inspired art for you. If you're a writer, inspired a character, or inspired a plot line. Something like that something about this relationship is very inspirational to you. And it seems like for a lot of you, it'll come from the hard aspects of a relationship. And a lot of us, that's kind of how we, you use your art to be catharsis. You get things out that were maybe difficult for you. So the dark periods of a relationship or a dark time in your life are often the most creatively fertile for you to pull from. And I think that's going to be, so funnel energy into your art and where Sagittarius, because I think that a lot of these issues you've been dealing with, you're going to feel a lot better if you can kind of get them out in a very proactive, creative way. Some of you it could be that this money is disappointing. This disappointment around money, is that something you want to get for your partner or your romantic interest is too expensive. Don't go into debt for anything. I feel like, especially if this is a newer relationship, Sagittarius, you regret spending that much money if things don't work out. So, I hope that they do, but even so, maybe you can find something similar that's a little more in your price range. Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy. I do think some of you single Sagittarians, it's very possible that you could meet someone in February. But again, give this time. Make sure it stands the test of time. Because again, when you meet somebody in a Mercury retrograde, it's not always meant to last forever. It may not be Mr. or Ms. Right, but it could be Mr. or Ms. Right now. But I think for whatever reason, you may go out and you be in a funk and you be in a bad mood, Sagittarius, and that's when this person kind of pops up. So I see you kind of being, I don't feel like going. But yeah, if there's a night where you're invited out with friends to go out, definitely do so, even if maybe you're not feeling it your best, because I think it'll be worth your time to get out there. Or if somebody suggests, hey, you should put your profile up online and just kind of see who's out there, be the month to do that, because you can just kind of sit back and let people come to you. You can kind of go shopping online, see who you like, message who you like. What you have to accept about February is that there are changes coming as far as new beginnings that you've started. There are changes coming involved with that. There may be, don't be in such a rush, Sagittarius, and to move things to another level. You sometimes when you try to move ahead too quickly, and this has been advice for all the fire signs, when you try to push something ahead and it's not time yet, you can ruin the outcome. You can damage the outcome. So try to be patient and worry and just kind of let things play out. Because again, with Mercury retrograde, wires are going to be crossed. You're never going to have all the information you need to make a sound decision. So please don't make any big decisions and worry if you can avoid it. It's always best to hold off. And it's only a month. Seriously, it's only 4 weeks. Do what you can to delay a situation or signing your life away in any way until to make sure that still looks good in the harsh light of make sure that you still want to do that. For those of you who have been waiting on a settlement legal-wise, if you've been involved in a court case, waiting on an inheritance, had anything kind of caught up in that sort of thing, I think where you're going to get news that this has been a positive, you're getting a repayment, a good amount from this. Some of you will be getting a home out of this. I mean, you have inherited property, so there'll be a move in your future. You get news of this in February. And if you do, it will be through, or maybe you're just getting enough money that you can finally buy a home or add to your savings and to make a shift, to take a trip, some kind of physical change. So that will be very good. Others of you, this would be news of a pregnancy, if you've been trying to get pregnant, this will make you, you're going to start thinking and how that's going to change your life, but it's going to be in a positive way. And again, with court cases and things like that, they've started obviously before the Mercury retrograde. So those things tend to come back around, and that's fine if it's something that was started before the Mercury retrograde and is now just coming back around to kind of, give you the payoff, as it were, sometimes real and sometimes figuratively. Okay, so if there's someone that you depend on for advice, Sagittarius, seek this person out and worry. I mean, a lot of you have a lot of big stuff maybe coming down for you, it looks like. Or you're mulling big things over. So, I mean, if there's someone in your life that you go to for advice, is seek out this person, seek out their advice. It looks like you need someone who is detached from the situation. You need someone's advice on a situation in which they have no ulterior motives. Okay, so you need to seek out somebody who's completely outside of the situation. It's nice to think that you marry your best friend if you have a partner or whatever, and that you can go to them for advice, and you can in most things, but sometimes you need, if the issue is regarding that partnership or whether you should do something or not do something, then you need somebody outside of the couple. You need somebody with a perspective outside of the relationship to give you an unbiased viewpoint, Sagittarius. So keep that in mind if you are going to be seeking out advice. Seek someone who does not have an ulterior motive or an agenda about the issue at hand. For some of you, you may feel that a female makes you vulnerable in some way, or holds you up to ridicule in some way, and worry. Maybe they say something you just wish that they hadn't said, or maybe they just put you on the spot in a way, and this causes a disruption. For some of you, for you guys, it may be your partner, maybe a girlfriend or a wife, or somebody who just kind of, really, you're disappointed in their behavior in some way. Or this could be going back to this family situation. Maybe it's somebody in your family that you used to rely on, and now they're kind of making you, they're disappointing you because they're not there for you, in some way. I feel like you're going to be able to talk to your mother or an older female in your family about this situation, about the family situation and what's going on with that. And they'll be able to offer you a perspective that maybe you didn't think about. But it's kind of like you have to be willing, Sagittarius, to meet whoever this person in your family is halfway. And until you're ready to do that, it's probably not going to be a situation that's rectified. But yeah, I think that for some of you, this is someone you need in your life, because I feel like this rift may be with somebody who gives you good advice. And maybe you're missing that. Maybe you need them more than ever. And now because of this, whatever went down, maybe earlier or last year, you don't have that person in your life, and you're really kind of noticing their absence. I think the time's going to come for you to kind of reunite with this person, Sagittarius. There's an indication that some of you will be acting a little bratty regarding a situation with your family, Sagittarius. So just keep that in mind. Kind of try to be aware of your own behavior. Just be, okay, am I acting like an adult here? Or am I? Because with our families, sometimes the dynamic, like, if you were the youngest child, you always maybe are treated that way. So you act a different way around your family than you do with everyone else. And that maybe you feel like you're being relegated to that or treated that way, and that's not how you feel about yourself. So there's some kind of disconnect in the way your family's treating you and the way you see yourself. Something like that. And I think it's just something that needs to be talked out. Maybe a lot has been made over nothing in a lot of cases. Maybe it's all pride and stubbornness. Maybe it's not really so much of a big issue at all, but just pride and stubbornness. I will tell you, though, that whatever your birth order is coming from experience. If you're the baby, you're going to be the baby your whole life, even when you're 5 years old. Because your siblings are always going to be older than you, the ones that are left. And they're still going to see you if you're 5, you're still going to be the baby in their eyes. So, that's just a little perspective on that situation, though. But Sagittarius, I think you're going to, be pondering these issues, trying to figure out the best way to take care of those issues. And I hope you have a fantastic day. We'll hopefully see how this saga plays out again when I come back in March and get some more details about what's happening then and unfolding for you then. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, Sagittarius.